This continuation of the classic platforming franchise Rayman goes back to its origins, as in back to the two-dimensional roots of the first 1995 Rayman game. A lot of Origins ingredients were already in that first game. The characters, the Electoons, even the Mosquito Schmupp elements. Michel Ancel was responsible for the first two very good and successful games in the series, and was again on board with Ubisoft when the work on Origins 12 years later in 2011 began. Unfortunately, this game has no story, although one might argue that statement, and does not introduce any of the characters, so you either have prior knowledge, consult the manual, and there is no joke, or the internet. You are thrown into a kooky world that looks and sounds great, so much so that it feels like a lovely fever dream on a mix of LSD and amphetamines. The marriage of audio and video is wonderfully executed. Music and sound design react to what is happening on screen and are always fitting, fun, pleasant, or if the situation demands it, exciting and sometimes even a bit eerie. The visuals are stunning and magical, and, to me, as impressive as anything realistic or larger than life in modern games. The eclectic art style creates a big bowl of crazy, and that is what I personally love most about the game. Controls and level design are on point, tight and fun, and the difficulty is sitting in a nice spot in between challenging and almost frustrating. Yes, the game is pretty hard at times. I sometimes found myself repeating one little section of a level a dozen times until I started to get aggravated and cursed at the screen. But it happened rarely and because of a lack of concentration mostly. Every level can be completed by just making it through to the end, or by collecting a certain number of collectibles to get the maximum number of medals for that level. One can also try to beat a certain time to get a speedrun medal, which is asking for precision platforming. Then there are the crazy treasure chest runs, which are levels in which you chase a treasure chest and have to be as fast as possible. These levels require a lot of practice and trial and error progression, which could bother many. I liked them and found myself more frustrated with some of the standard levels and bosses, but that might be a question of individual taste. I beat the game in around 11 hours, and it will give you at least 15 to 20 hours of gameplay if you target 100% completion. I personally felt that the game was a little too long. Halfway through, when you think you have completed the game, 4 new worlds pop up with a boss in each of them. These bosses are mainly fun but can get a little frustrating sometimes because of trial and error, pattern learning on the player's part. The level design got better the further you progress in the game, I felt, but still it seemed a little stretched for my taste and schedule, but most people would probably disagree. If you like challenging platformers and the Rayman art style, you will definitely enjoy this game a lot. It's not on par, of course, with Super Mario World. It's not on par with Super Meat Boy, although that is a bad comparison for many reasons. But it's certainly the best platformer I played since Super Meat Boy, and I will definitely play through the follow-up Rayman Legends when I get the chance. Last but not least, the game supports up to 4-player local co-op, which is certainly fun. I would recommend this game to everyone. I even gifted my little niece a copy for her 3DS last Christmas.